Top, right? Good morning. My name is Ash Singh, and I am a distant relative to the Spanish royalty. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, very well, thank you. Ash, nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
My name is Angel Batalla. I am one of the founders of Last Mile team. The last mile delivery market worldwide this year will be about 130 billion US,
Mm.
estimated to reach 200 billion in the next 5 years. We reduce last mile delivery costs up to 25%, turning losses into profits,
Okay.
but also improve cities' livability. You may know 99% of world population breathes poor quality air that causes the premature death of more than 7 million people worldwide every year.
Mm.
Our solutions reduce the number of vehicles on the road and its associated emissions by 30%. The founders have 40 years senior management international experience in consumer, pharmaceutical, and professional product last mile in top
Mm.
corporations, and over 20 years in IT applied to transport. And we have also founded and successfully exited a couple of mobility-related startups in the recent years.
Excellent.
Our copyrighted business-to-business software as a service platform is deployed in Madrid, Spain, financed by a 100,000 euro grant from the European Commission. The product is ready. We are now seeking 600,000 euro equity investment at 2.4 million euro pre-money to ensure a successful launch in Spain as the first step to roll out in other European Union member states.
Mm.
The monies will be spent in marketing, sales, and building the customer success team. Ash, this is a profitable business with measurable social impact that may fit well your investment strategy.
Okay.
Are you available for a short meeting on Wednesday next week?
All right. Excellent. Yes, I would love to have a follow-up conversation. So thank you very much, Angel. So great pitch today to kick things off. Let's get feedback in the chat. Okay. Let's get feedback in the chat in terms of the business itself. Allow me to ask a couple of questions myself, right? And so part of the elevator pitch feedback is, again, for us to level you up and also to allow you to get a sense of the thoughts that are going through an investor's mind, all right? And so what I wanted to ask is, I think last mile delivery is something that it's an obvious kind of element when we think about just e-commerce and delivery around that. When we think about grocery delivery, when we think about anything that kind of needs to move, your mail, your groceries, stuff from Amazon, from the warehouses. There's this last mile delivery, which you mentioned is in the next 5 years will be $100 billion business, correct? Globally.
Yeah, well, it's 130 almost. Will 50% will multiply by 50% in 2017.
Okay, got it. So it's obviously a huge market. My question to you is, I wanted to know a little bit more about your secret sauce. You talked about how your process is going to improve emissions. There's a couple of things that you do. I kind of wanted to know how you do it, all right? How do you do it? And obviously, this is a public setting, so we don't want to go into too much detail, but enough for me to know how you guys have rethought last mile delivery. Okay. And I'm from a capitalistic perspective, we love the concept of doing stuff to improve the climate, right? But I kind of wanted to also hear, so number one was secret sauce. Number two was, how is this, if it's improving the climate, how are you going to create shareholder value from a climate perspective now, right? Whether it's a carbon credits component as well. So those are the two areas that I had questions for you. Go ahead.
Okay. What we have tried to do is to, first of all, develop an artificial intelligence specific to road transportation, coupled with some technologies that we have developed and registered and copyrighted, which enable you to to tackle the problem from a very holistic point of view. Rather than just optimizing routes, which is at the reach of everyone, we bring into the party all the local legislation, the regional legislation for drivers, for working hours, for exclusion zones, for certain types of traffic, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And bring all that technology, put it easily in the hands of people that has to use it, but they don't have to have the deep tech knowledge of tweaking and messing up with algorithms. So we facilitate, democratize, if you so wish, the access to latest deep tech technology to people who is operationally running the show in their companies.
Understood.
So that's the first point. The second, about the adding value, we have been able to develop with our own funding up to where we are, put the process in place and test the minimum viable product in Madrid with this European Commission grant, and to have a lot of ideas to complement and go and expand into other initiatives, like you mentioned, of the carbon trade, for instance, of officially registering your carbon footprint, which will, for a company which is listed and others which are not, is fundamental on their corporate social responsibility to be able to address to the stakeholders in the world how do they perform to combat climate change. So we do provide them with the fact and figures, hard facts, which are uncontested, for them to show up what their efforts are on this arena.
Understood. So if I understand correctly, I want to come back to your secret sauce. What you're saying is that you provide businesses not just the way to optimize routes, but because you understand kind of what's happening locally with governments and all the other components, you're able to make better real-time recommendations. So if any company is looking to enable last mile delivery, they leverage your platform, and you are by far the best algorithm, right? Deep tech algorithm that they can utilize if they want to launch a last mile delivery system. Is that correct?
And reduce 25% of their cost in the process.
Okay. Yes. There's that 25% cost, right? So you know that you're at least 25% more efficient, okay, than anyone else currently in the market. Correct? All right.
Yeah.
So there's some questions as well in the chat. I just want you to know we also have one of our pitch experts in the house today. I just want to give a quick shout out to Dana, who's joining us from Portland, Oregon. And so there's a couple of questions that she has, and everyone else. But one question is you've been able to demonstrate product market fit, right? You've already tested this already?
It is being tested in Madrid, in an area where 130,000 people lives.
Yes.
With daily services and daily shipments. We started the project in June 2020.
Yes.
We have started to compile data in December, 1st of December 2021, and we will be running for the next 4 or 5 months. We'll be running and building evidence so we can present the numbers with real life figures. Yes.
Angel, the question I have for you is, who would buy this business? Suppose you got all the pieces together. Who's going to buy your business? Is it an Amazon? Is it a FedEx? Is it a UPS? Is it another e-commerce player that's looking to develop better? I'm just curious, right? You know, what's your exit on this? Where do you think it would go?
If you mean the exit, is not necessarily through any potential customer, but let me rewind. We do have four customer persona identified. One of them is obviously the companies that you mentioned, because of the size of their operations. However, you may want to know that over 95% of the last mile operation are subcontracted to small and medium enterprises and to autonomous workers, even for those big names that you mentioned. And it's easy to see a UPS And in the left side, they always say it's a company appointed by.
Yeah.
So these are not people
powered by somebody else, right?
Yeah. So UPS as such is not necessarily our target. However, the franchisees or the people who work for UPS, yes, they are.
Got it. Understood.
Okay? But not the big. I mean, not the corporation. The
Yes.
corporation business is a different business, and they subcontract the last mile in its execution in the whole world. An exception, which you also mentioned, is Amazon. Amazon have invested already in Rivian, a manufacturer of efficient vehicles, to launch their electric vans and efficient vans, which are highly powered. Amazon is a powerhouse, as is Cainiao in China. Those are not our customers. Perhaps they could be interested on including us or acquiring us to develop specific areas where we do have expertise, but they are far ahead of the game of where we are. That's pretty obvious.
Yes, understood.
The second important customer is the logistics operator. Is this 3 or 4 party logistics which consolidates the goods for merchants or all kinds, and then has to contract the transportation to deliver to do the last mile. There we can add a lot of value because they can raise to their customers the same level of customer service or even better than the big names have, because they have the access to this technology. Got it.
Excellent. So there's a couple of more questions in the chat, but what I'm going to do, you're looking for, if I understood correctly, you're looking for $600,000. Is that correct? Euros?
Yeah, euros.
600K euros at a 2.4 million pre-money valuation?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can summarize this. Would you like me to pitch your idea back to you?
Please.
Okay. What I'm going to do is, I want to simplify it a little bit, right? I felt like I want to just kind of get it quick into the into the mind of the investor. My last question before I pitch is your team. You talked about the fact that you guys have a lot of experience. Can you just remind us again the level of experience that you guys have? Right, you guys have a very solid team, right?
It's the core team is 3 people, 2 women and myself. We bring like 40 years operational experience as vice president of supply chain worldwide for major brands and major multinationals, which is what I bring into the party. Yes. Then we have a CTO, and she's bringing like 20 years experience on specifically on developments in the mobility, personal mobility and freight mobility area.
Yes.
And then we have a third in the team, which is expert in operations. So she is the one who refines and works the detail on a day-to-day when we build the digital twin, or we start to work on the specific details of the planning for a potential customer.
Yes, excellent. All right, so let's give it a go. I will introduce myself. Well, you got to introduce yourself. This is your chance to be whoever you want. Just as a notion I did earlier, introduce myself as a distant relative of Spanish royalty. Obviously, that is just fictional, and I do not represent Spanish royalty on this program. So, but we're allowed to have some fun. So what we'll do is we'll hit the top of the elevator, and I will attempt to pitch your idea back to you. Okay, I want to simplify some of the components so it kind of strikes a chord. That's what I want to bring for it, and let's see how I do. Are you ready, sir?
Okay. Yeah. If I don't look at you, don't take it, because I have another screen and I will be writing all your comments.
Well, we're going to record this for you, so don't worry about that. We'll make it easy for you. We want you to enjoy. But we're at the bottom of the elevator. You can introduce yourself now, and we can get started.
Okay. Hi, my name is Angel Batalla. I am a celebrity which is really concerned with environmental impact of e-commerce and transportation in general.
Excellent. Well, really nice to meet you in person. I've watched a lot of your content on the internet. My name is Ash Singh, and I'm part of the Last Mile team. As you know, last mile delivery has really progressed over the last 5 years, not just with COVID, but just in general with grocery stores, e-commerce delivery, anything and everything that needs to be delivered. Last mile is playing a pivotal role. We've also noticed that the world in terms of carbon credits and climate change is also something that is become very, very apparent, obviously here in the European Union where you reside. So we've created what we feel is the next generation optimization system for last mile delivery. Right? We don't just think about the algorithms that are being set forth, right, to move from point A to point B. We also think about the legislation. We also think about optimal timings from a 24/7 perspective. And what this enables any company to be able to do is to launch and control a last mile delivery system that's at least 25% more efficient than anything else in the market. We've already launched this in Madrid with our team. Our team's got 40 years of experience in supply chain and logistics, and we're looking now to see how we can make an impact commercially, but also for climate change here in Spain and then the rest of Europe. Would love to chat to you a little bit more over a coffee on how we do it and how you can play a role and make an impact in the multi-billion-dollar last mile delivery.
Interesting.
Okay.
Right. I have to see and watch the video sentence by sentence.
No problem. So, I tried to make it a little, you don't have to give me feedback, by the way, but what I wanted to do was just jump in. Every investor, we talked about this investor being a little bit more climate focused, but what I wanted to do was just get into what your secret sauce was, right? What you're doing, and we brought a little bit about the legislation component. I might have also, when I think about last mile delivery, right now you're thinking about people and freight. Tomorrow you might be thinking about drone technology as well, right? And how that plays a role. So I was going to weave that in. It's just that I was running a little bit low on time, but I was thinking about what your big picture is and how all of this kind of comes together. Okay. But fantastic stuff. Thank you very much for making the time today. We'll make sure that we send you a recording. So and feel free to stick around. Look at the chat. There's some fantastic questions that have come from our audience, and look forward to continuing to be part of your success and making sure. Thank you. My pleasure. Have a wonderful day, sir.
Let me thank Federico for allowing me to pitch now in 15 minutes. By changing my slot. Thanks a lot, Federico.
Our pleasure. No problem. Thank you.
I'll be back soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always welcome.